Hello, I'm going to talk about World Cup Fantasy. How am I doing? That's your first question. How are you doing, FSD? Well, thank you for asking. Hypothetical person, 71,000. It's okay. Decent. Going to improve on it. Any fantasy game that I take part in, my bare minimum is to finish in the top 1%. 1% World Cup Fantasy is 20,000. I can get that number into the top 20,000. I will do it. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to do it. Top 20,000 by the end of this competition. Team is set up nicely. 101 points with 3 lads from Argentina to come into the pitch. A certain Messi. I mean, everyone's got Messi, haven't they? So whether what he does, it doesn't really matter. I'll probably be better off with him blanking if there's a few crazy people who are going to have him as their captain. Haven't already captained Mbappe. But a Argentina clean sheet. That's what I want. That is what I want. I'm going to get rid of Jude. Hey, Jude. I'm not going to sing. Get out my team. Yeah, get out my team. I'm going to sub him out. I'm going to transfer him out. Vinny, what have you done for me lately? Mark Gahey, same to you. Get out my team. Fortunately, you've only got one player who's been eliminated. Wirtz. So I'm going to have to transfer him out. Balogun. Good score for someone who got sent off. Obviously, I've played the qualification booster, so I'm getting an extra 2 points there. But he scored. If he hadn't got suspended, if he wasn't Messi and didn't get the superstar swing, then he wouldn't have been sent off, and I wouldn't have to transfer him out my team. By my numbers, he is the best value, 6 million player. But if he's not going to play, he's not going to get me any points. So can only complain about what happened. Transfer him out of my team. Yeah, disappointing because it's hard to fit in everybody if you have the sort of the big three. So I've got 5 of the big 3. Elise Yamal in midfield, Vinny Jr. A lot of people have got Dembele in as well, but big 3 of having Kane, Messi, and Mbappe. If I was to have those, it just does not leave a lot of room. People who've got the big 6 in their teams are going to have to they're going to run out of cheap defenders, really. So they've got problems down the track. I do not have such problems. The next thing to talk about is the draw. This is the draw as it stands. This is looking at the top half of the draw. The players I chose, I'm not just looking ahead for one game week, I'm looking ahead to the next game week afterwards. I didn't have any Canadian players in my team, because while I did like them against South Africa, do I like them against Morocco? No. No, I don't. Not at all. These percentages are chances to qualify. These percentages here are chances to get through to the semi-finals. So like I said before, I'm not looking ahead 1 game week. I'm looking ahead 2 game weeks. I said to someone, like, people who've got Canadian players in their team, they'll probably have the goalkeeper and a defender, maybe Jonathan David. You've banked in a transfer here already, and someone on Twitter is like, well, mate, we've got 4 transfers. I know exactly how many transfers we've got. I know precisely. And how many players we can have. The problem is, it's going to be hard to not take a hit in the quarterfinals. Got 4 free transfers, mate. Yeah, no. If you've got Canada players, you'd be thinking, well, I want to transfer them out now. That's why I only had 1 Germany player. Didn't want any more, because if Germany got through, they'd have to play France in the next round. France pretty good, you know. We want Germany players against France. So, what you're probably thinking, what are these numbers here make mean? How many days rest they've got? So Canada have got about 6 days rest, whereas Morocco only got 4.7. Whereas Paraguay have got an extra day rest over France. I don't think it's going to make any difference. Like, they're still going to get beat. So anyway, looking at the draw, you don't want any Canada players. Morocco, I do like Morocco for this game. This game coming up, 71% chance of qualifying over Canada, but getting through to the next round, they're going to play France after that. I'm tempted to get some Morocco players in. Don't want too many though, because there's a chance they might not qualify, and if they do qualify, well, playing France in the next round. France, you've got to stock up on France. You've got to max out your French players, if you can. Do like Spain against Portugal. I'm not going to bother with any Portuguese players, obviously. It's not the end of the world to keep any US players, but I do not want to have them against Spain and Portugal in the next round. If we scroll down, I'm probably going to keep Vinny Jr. I was thinking I might have to sacrifice him just to free up some money, but he's still one of the best players in the game. I'm still going to keep him. Obviously, his ownership's going to be very high as well. Everyone's going to own him. Yeah, Brazil, they have got an extra games rest over Norway, but when it gets to these sort of numbers, yeah, the extra day rest 5/6 isn't so much. Whereas Mexico, England, we've got to talk about that. So Mexico, they've got all the advantages, haven't they? They've got an extra rest over England. They haven't even left Mexico. Still going to be playing in the altitude, in the heat. England have to travel from Atlanta to play in Mexico. And then if we qualify, we're going to have to play Brazil or Norway in the heat of Miami. It's not looking good, is it? I mean, Mexico, they've got all the home comforts, haven't they? I thought home comforts are at home. Be sleeping in their own beds, eating their own food. England have to travel. Will they be sleeping in their own beds? No. Will they be eating their own food? Of course not. I mean, imagine the state of the fish and chips you can get in Mexico. Oh man, it doesn't bear thinking about, does it? The fish and chips in Mexico. No. It doesn't look good, does it? We're going to get... yeah. I'm going to have to downgrade the amount of England players in my team. I've penciled in, I mean, if Argentina get eliminated off Cape Verde, something mental's going to happen. End of the world situation. I think Argentina will get through. Yeah, bold call there, isn't it? Probably play Egypt. And they will be big favourites against Egypt, and still big favourites to get through either Switzerland or Colombia, who I've also penciled in as getting through in those rounds. So, what's the headline from all that? Get a Morocco player in if you want. Just one. Don't go crazy. Max out on France. Keep your Spain players. Don't want to bother with Portugal. United States, I wouldn't be buying any US players. Be selling them. Probably the same with Brazil. England, downgrade. Argentina, max out. Switzerland, Colombia, do not bother with them. So let's look at what's the data telling us? That's what we want to know. Here we go. Ran the numbers. And this is what we are looking at. I'm going to filter by teams, because some teams, like I've just said... No, you can't say that. I'm going to have to scroll back. You can see the full thing. Right, certain teams you don't want to bother. You still can't even see that, can you? Right, let's go over here. Sorry about this. Right, there we go. Now we're settled. Which teams do not want to bother with? Belgium? Nah, don't want to bother with any of them. Same with Canada. I haven't got any Canadian players. Don't want to bother. Don't want to bother Colombia. Nope. Norway, I'm not going to bring in Haaland. He's very expensive. Hard game against Brazil. Same with Portugal. There's no Portuguese players I want. I don't want to bother with Switzerland. And I've got US players. I want to see how they are, and I don't want any more. Where does that leave us? I'm going to put that back there. It just looks better, doesn't it? Get back over there. Go on, don't be shy. There we go. We'll take this position by position, starting with the goalkeepers. I've got Simone and short arms, fat arse, Mac and bastard, Jordan Pickford. Oops, sorry about that. I'm going to keep him, even though, for the reasons I've just stated, plenty of reasons to get rid of him. I think this should be his last tournament as England's #1. Bookmark that. I like, as I've said before, I like Morocco, just for 1 week only. France, you don't want to be wasting a transfer on, or a France slot on the goalkeeper. Another good thing. These are the percentages as they are right now. I think some of these percentages are going to be above the threshold come deadline. But I'm not going to make any. I've got 2 playing goalkeepers on different sides of the draw. I'm not going to make any goalkeeper transfers, obviously. Luca Dean, that's the first chap to talk about. I do like Luca Dean. His ownership is very low. Slight chance it could be above 5% come deadline. His minutes aren't great, but I mean, France, you know, lads, it's France. Great chance of qualifying, great chance of a clean sheet. He's got a good chance of attacking returns. Slight doubt that he doesn't start. He's not totally nailed. I think he will start in the next round. The round after that is always a doubt. That's why I've got a little bit of hesitation about bringing him in. Good price as well. Shadi Riyadh, I like him. Probably completely butchered his name. Sorry, Shadi. Very cheap, 3.9. That is cheap as chips. He should be under the threshold. I'm probably not going to bring him in. I've got Molina. Hakimi. Hakimi's a great player, but no chance of getting the scouting bonus, and he's very expensive for a defender. 6 million for a defender in this game. I'm not sure I want to be paying that. I've already highlighted who, if you've got an eagle eye, you're probably thinking, you're looking ahead of who I'm thinking of bringing in. I'm thinking of bringing in, pencil it in. How do you say his name? Nicholas, that's how you say it. I'm going to bring in Nicholas. Assuming he's nailed. Argentina obviously haven't played at the time of recording. They play tonight. Hopefully he starts. Plays reasonably well. Not too well that his ownership goes sky high above the 5%, but reasonably well. And I can get him in as another Argentinian player. I've got 3 already. I want to get that number up to 4 because I've got a good fixture coming up, probably. Strong favourites of getting through to the next round. So that's who I have penciled in. If it wasn't him, I've got other risks in my team, so I'm reluctant to get Luca Dean. I don't want to have too many players who aren't totally nailed. I'm going to take a risk in midfield. And let's have a look at the midfielders right now. As I mentioned, I've got to keep Vinny Jr. He is the top respected point scorer all around. So the risk of repeating myself, for Brazil, he is like the talisman. If you get an alert on your phone saying Brazil have scored, you're going to think, right, Vinny Jr. is either assisted or scored a goal. If France score, there's 4 players in the running for a return. Elise, Barcola seems to be in the team, Dembele, and obviously Mbappe. I'm going to bring in Barcola. I like him. Mentioned I don't want to take too many risks. If I was to bring in Dean, Luca Dean, he's a bit of a troll from FPL, so there's another knock against him. He's not totally nailed. Barcola isn't totally nailed either, but the amount of goals France are predicted to score, his price point, it looks like he's nailed. And also, Dembele, I'm not sure if he's carrying an injury because he's got taken off early in the games. Barcola played 90 minutes in the previous game, whereas Dembele got taken off. You could say, well, what could you say, actually? You could say, well, maybe the game was won and they want to protect Dembele more than what they want to protect Barcola. But as I've said, for the price, for the fixture, for the team, I'm going to bring in Barcola. So he is my one sort of risky player I'm going to bring in. Yeah, I'm going to bring in Barcola. Also in midfield, I'm going to bring in Diaz. The risk about him is, as I've said before, if you were listening, I don't want to have too many players from Morocco. Assuming they qualify, they'll play France in the next round. Good price. Should hold on to a scouting bonus. And Morocco have got a great fixture against Canada. To fit in all the good players, you've got to have one cheapo midfielder or forward. The best, if I wasn't going to bring him in, the sort of best 6 mil or under player is, for me, probably Rodrigo de Paul. You know he's going to play. Argentina going to qualify. Sort of a player you don't need to worry about too much. Malik Tillman, come on down. Check out these stats for Malik Tillman. He is a sneaky good pick. I've got him in an alternative. I've got him in Sofa Score Fantasy. He's done well. Good price. Got a scouting bonus. Don't want to be bringing in another American, US player. Not for me. So Diaz, I'm going to bring him in. And finally, forwards. Let's check them out. I've kept Balogun in there because previously I said if he hadn't got injured, suspended, he's the best value midfielder or forward. I would have kept him in there. I'm still complaining about it, but he's got to go. I mean, obviously, Mbappe, Messi, everyone's going to own them. Everyone should own them. The forward I'm going to bring in is Mikel Oyarzabal. I could say his name 10 times and pronounce it 7 different ways, but Mick, I'm bringing him in. I've got eyes on Martinez. I am interested in Lautaro Martinez. As I've said before, I don't want to bring in too many players who aren't totally nailed. If he was on the bench, it wouldn't be a major shock, would it? And if he starts, he gets subbed off after maybe 70, 80 minutes. Or Alvarez. Good price. He's got a scouting bonus as well. If I wasn't bringing in Tagliafico or whatever Nicholas's second name is, I'd be interested in Martinez to get my number of Argentinians up to 4. So let's have a look at those transfers. Let's make those transfers. I'm not going to make them. I'm just going to pencil them in, give you a little idea what will go in. Mark Gahey, goodbye. Wirtz, eliminated. Get out of my team. Bellingham, I haven't mentioned he's on a yellow card. And he's the sort of player who gets frustrated and just wants to give someone a kick. If he takes the hump, he's just going to like kick the nearest person, get a yellow card. Lack of impulse control, you could say. So I don't trust him to not get a yellow card in Mexico. Balogun, suspended. Get out of my team. And the players I am going to bring in defence, I'm going to bring in, well, it was Nicholas, wasn't it? Tagliafico? I'm going to say it. Tagliafico. Tagliafico, come on down. Get in the team, Nick. Assuming you're nailed. Assuming you were nailed. And Barcola. I do like him. 8 million. Good price. You've got to make some tough choices now, haven't you, to get everybody in. There's some people who have like maxed out their 10 million players and they'll be just like scouring the bottom of the barrel trying to find some cheap player who might play. As I mentioned before, cheap player who is going to play. 3.9. Pretty good value. But I've got other plans, and it is this guy, Diaz. I like him. Hopefully he's hold on to his scouting bonus. 3% it's saying there. After this video, it's going to go sky high, isn't it? The millions of FSD fans around the world be thinking, well, I'll get him in as well. And Mikel. Come on down, get in the team. There we go. Fortunately, we are in budget. Set up nicely for this game week and the next game week. I'm not going to make these transfers now. I am not crazy. But looking ahead, you do need to consider the chances of qualifying. So I've penciled in. I've made assumptions here. Argentina against Egypt, Colombia, Switzerland. And then the players that I've got, the magic number that you need to get to is 11. Because you only have 4 free transfers to get through for the quarterfinals. So even, bearing in mind, making the best decisions based on the chances of qualifying, I've only got a 56% chance of getting 11 players or more through the next round. That's just based on eliminations. It doesn't include the chance of people being dropped or people being suspended. So next round, there's going to be lots of hits taken. And I want to minimize my chances of taking hits. So how long have I talked for? I've talked for quite a while here. It's been nothing but gold dust start to finish. Hang on, where's the number? I don't know. Sorry, this is probably dead time right now. So I'm going to end the what is it? It's not a stream. End the recording. Thank you for watching. Whack some buttons that are going to make me put a smile on my face, like the like and the share, the like and the share and the subscribe, that sort of stuff. Thanks for watching again.